Hello, this is Dr. Tina Edwards here with another episode of Lunch and a Rant. I would love to thank everybody who's written me with suggestions about things they would like to hear about. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about how this podcast started. I obviously have a lot of things to say about the healthcare system, and typically when somebody would ask me how it works, usually family or a friend, I would go off and talk about how things really work. And people almost inevitably are shocked. Like, they can't believe that's how it actually works. And this has given me a lot of topics to talk about. But ultimately, my friends were like, okay, yeah, you've told us, but what good does that do, right? Now we know, but we're just one person or just two people. You really need to tell everybody else. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm telling everybody else. And I hope that as you're listening to this and finding out what's really going on in healthcare and what you're really paying for, that you'll like and share this and let other people know, because people need to know. I mean, you're spending good money on this, and this doesn't matter whether you're getting insurance from your employer or you are an employer, or even if you don't have insurance at all, but you just pay taxes, you are paying for this. So the topic I want to talk about today is the Joint Commission, and it used to be called JCAHO. But essentially what it does is it goes around to hospitals which volunteer for it because they want to be Joint Commission accredited. So they volunteer to be inspected. The problem is that for JCAHO, medicine changes so quickly that often the things that they're inspecting for and that they're testing for actually have no bearing on good health. And I'll give you a great example. The science of the treatment of sepsis is changing rapidly, and it's certainly improved, but every year we learn new things. And the rules for treating sepsis, which is an infection of the entire body, people with sepsis are typically very sick, so the rules change because we get new research. But the rules don't change in response immediately to the research. It can follow 2 to 3 years. So basically doctors who now know a better way to do it can't do it the better way, or their hospitals will get dinged for not complying with sepsis guidelines. Now, I'm with everybody else. I certainly want healthcare to improve. As a doctor, I certainly want to improve. But one of the things hospitals do to meet JCAHO standards is they have to find things, metrics that they can meet. And these are things that may or may not matter for healthcare, but that they can measure. One of those things is patient satisfaction. Well, let me tell you about patient satisfaction. There are actually studies that show that patient satisfaction is actually inversely related to patient outcomes, meaning the stuff that you really care about. I mean, yeah, sure, we all want our doctor to be nice to us. Yeah, sure, we all want to make it through the hospital quickly. But the really big question is, did you die? Did you lose your leg? Do you still have your eyesight? Was your cancer diagnosed in time? These are the important questions that honestly you genuinely care about, and it's extremely difficult to measure those things. Sometimes people die. Sometimes there's nothing I can do about it. Sometimes people come into the hospital dead. Am I going to be dinged because they stayed that way when the chance they're going to be resuscitated is actually really low? This is the kind of stuff that JCAHO measures. Additionally, they come around, and this is highly entertaining, they come around and they complain if we have food out or drinks out, which genuinely bears no relationship to the kind of care we're giving in the hospital, but theoretically could lead to more infection. That's not really been shown to be true, and the truth is we're human beings, we need to eat and drink, and often we can't leave our stations because if we do, our patients could get sicker and we wouldn't know about it. Usually all the places to go get things to eat and places to eat are out of the way, and nobody will know where I am. And when I'm in the emergency department working, people need to know where I am. So this is just some of the stuff that Joint Commission does. If you are watching or listening to this and you are in the healthcare world and you want to talk more about some stuff that JCAHO does and you want me to talk more about the Joint Commission, please by all means send me email or leave suggestions below. My email is drtinaedwards@gmail.com. This podcast is Lunch and Rant. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us, and please like and share.